Hello, my name is Spine and this is not Intrusion 2, this is just a review. Intrusion 2 is an indie side-scrolling shoot 'em up that's inspired by classics like Contra. It was made by Alexei Abramenko, also known as Web Games, and was released in September of 2012 in the Steam store and DRM free in the Humble store. The basic idea is pretty simple: run, shoot and win. The game starts off easy to get you used to the controls and the environment, since everything is a physics object you can interact with. The levels are, as you would expect, like an action movie. Avalanches, exploding bridges, fighting dragons while snowboarding and giant bosses. And to keep the pace of the game as fast as possible, there's no story at all. Over the course of the game you get access to 5 weapons and 3 mounts and encounter a variety of different enemies. The infantry units are rather boring, but the mini-bosses have a more interesting design and are somewhat challenging. And the actual boss fights are where the game really shines. They are all multi-stage with quite different phases and great ideas. They are challenging and rather long, as well as visually interesting. Probably the biggest critique for this game is the playtime. The time varies from person to person, but 10 hours is probably an average amount of time to beat the game on normal. You can of course extend the playtime by completing the hard mode and gathering achievements, but with only 3 bosses, the game is still rather short. The controls are good, but you cannot switch weapons with the mouse wheel. The music on the other hand is perfect. What you cannot expect from Intrusion 2 is a story of any kind, a long game time or replay value, or a highly polished game, which might actually be a plus point for some people. But what you can expect is classic side-scrolling shooting, cool boss fights and music from George Zioff. My personal thoughts. Intrusion 2 is a good game and one of the few side-scrolling shoot 'em ups. The addition of physics is nice, but corpses blocking pickups is somewhat annoying. The controls of the wolf really weirded me out at first, but once I understood how crucial the direction of the cursor for the movement is, it was rather easy to navigate, and I started to have fun running around. I like the art style of the game, but not the graphical quality. I feel like it's too good to be really old school, but too pixelated to be considered good by modern standards. I'm satisfied with the number of weapons and the ability to use vehicles, but I would have liked to see more enemies. This issue, however, is probably in conjunction with the shortness of the game in general. I have not yet played the hard mode, but I expect to have a blast with it. The price of €8 is okay, but definitely not a snip, since the playtime is short compared to other games in this price class. I would recommend this game to anyone who wants some nostalgic action and looks for a good game experience rather than longevity. If you're not yet sure, check out the demo on Steam or on the web. I'm Spine and this was just a review.